Love often begins its journey in silence, long before it gathers the courage to declare itself openly. One of the most profound yet overlooked signals is the transformation of attention. When someone is quietly falling in love, their attention shifts in quality, not just quantity. It becomes intentional, steady, and deeply receptive. They do not merely hear your words, they absorb them. In conversations, their focus does not wander toward distractions or superficial responses. Instead, there is a subtle stillness in the way they look at you, as if your presence carries meaning beyond the immediate moment. This kind of attention is not dramatic or theatrical. It is calm, patient, and sincere. Psychologically, attention reflects value. We naturally give our mental energy to what matters to us. When a person consistently prioritizes your thoughts, your stories, and even your pauses, it suggests that you occupy a significant place within their inner world. They may remember details that others forget, follow up on things you mentioned casually, or ask questions that show genuine curiosity about your feelings rather than surface facts. This depth of listening reveals emotional investment forming beneath awareness. Most people mistake this behavior for simple kindness or good manners, but there is a difference between politeness and presence. Politeness performs, presence connects. When someone is emotionally drawn to you, their nervous system subtly attunes to yours. They notice shifts in your tone, changes in your mood, and unspoken signals hidden between sentences. Their attention becomes a bridge linking two inner worlds in a way that feels natural rather than forced. Over time, this consistent attentiveness creates emotional safety. You begin to feel seen, not because they flatter you, but because they genuinely perceive you. Love, in its early stages, rarely shouts through grand gestures. Instead, it whispers through sustained focus and quiet understanding. The person may not yet realize the depth of their feelings, but their behavior reveals it. They choose to remain mentally and emotionally present, even when nothing extraordinary is happening. In that steady presence lies one of the clearest signs of emerging love. Those who learn to recognize this subtle devotion to attention begin to understand that the heart often speaks first through the eyes and the act of truly listening. Memory is one of the quietest yet most revealing indicators of growing love. When someone begins to care deeply, their mind starts to hold on to the smallest fragments of who you are. It is not an effortful act of remembering. It happens naturally, almost instinctively. A detail you mentioned in passing, a preference you expressed once, a story about your childhood, or a concern you tried to downplay, these pieces remain with them. Weeks later, they may bring them back into conversation with surprising clarity. This is not coincidence. Psychologically, we remember what carries emotional weight. When a person is falling in love, your words gain significance, and significance strengthens memory. They begin to organize their inner world around the presence of yours. This attentive memory extends beyond facts and into feelings. They recall not only what you said, but how you felt when you said it. They notice patterns in your mood, understand what makes you light up, and become aware of what quietly troubles you. Their recollection is not mechanical, it is empathetic. They might check in about something important to you without being reminded, or bring up a small dream you once shared as if it still matters. In truth, it does matter to them. Through memory, they show that your experiences have become part of their mental landscape. You are no longer a passing interaction. You are someone whose inner life they carry with care. Many people overlook this signal because it appears subtle and ordinary. Yet there is a profound difference between casual remembrance and emotionally invested recall. Casual memory fades quickly and remains surface level. Invested memory deepens over time and connects to meaning. When someone consistently remembers what others forget, it reveals that you occupy space in their thoughts, even when you are absent. In absence, love continues its quiet work. The mind revisits shared conversations, replays moments, and reflects on your words. This repetition strengthens attachment without the person necessarily recognizing it. Over time, this pattern of remembering builds a sense of being understood. You may feel surprised when they reference something you barely recall mentioning. In that moment, you realize they were truly listening. Love does not always announce itself through dramatic expression. Sometimes it reveals itself through the simple yet powerful act of remembering. To be remembered with such depth is to be valued. And when someone values you enough to carry your details carefully within their mind, it often means their heart has already begun to move toward you in ways they may not yet fully comprehend. Emotional openness is one of the most delicate and revealing signals that love is quietly forming. When a person begins to develop deeper feelings, something within them starts to soften. The protective walls they once maintained with strength and caution no longer feel as necessary in your presence. At first, this shift may appear small. They might share a personal memory they rarely discuss, admit to a fear they usually hide, or speak honestly about a moment of failure that shaped them. These disclosures are not random. They are acts of trust. Psychologically, we reveal our inner layers only where we sense safety. When someone allows you to see beyond their composed exterior, it suggests that your presence has become emotionally significant. This vulnerability often unfolds gradually. It does not arrive as a dramatic confession, but as a series of sincere moments. You may notice that conversations move from surface topics toward deeper reflections about life, purpose, regrets, and hopes. They may ask for your perspective on personal struggles or express uncertainty without attempting to appear strong. In doing so, they are inviting you into spaces that few others enter. Emotional openness is risky because it exposes the possibility of rejection. Yet when love begins to grow, the desire for connection becomes stronger than the fear of exposure. The heart chooses closeness over protection. There is also a subtle shift in their tone when they speak about matters that matter to them. Their voice may slow, their expressions may become more thoughtful, and their words carry sincerity rather than performance. This change reflects an internal movement. They are no longer relating to you as an acquaintance, but as someone whose understanding matters. When your response influences how they feel about their own experiences, it reveals that your opinion has gained emotional weight. Love often manifests through this willingness to be seen in imperfection. Many overlook this signal because vulnerability can resemble simple friendship. Yet the difference lies in depth and consistency. If they repeatedly return to you when they need clarity, comfort, or reflection, it indicates that you have become a trusted emotional anchor. Over time, this creates a quiet bond. You begin to recognize that they are more open with you than with others. Their guarded side softens, and their authentic self emerges with less hesitation. Love, in its early form, does not demand recognition. It reveals itself through courage, the courage to be genuine. When someone entrusts you with their unpolished truths, it often means their heart has already chosen you as a place of refuge, even if they have not yet spoken the words aloud. Another quiet signal of growing love appears through unconscious synchronization. When two people begin to connect on a deeper emotional level, their bodies and behaviors start to mirror one another without deliberate effort. You may notice that they subtly adjust their posture to match yours, lean in when you speak, or align their pace with your steps while walking. These gestures are rarely planned. They arise naturally from a psychological process in which the nervous system attunes itself to someone it feels drawn toward. This alignment is not imitation meant to impress, it is resonance. It reflects a silent agreement between two inner worlds that have begun to move in harmony. Beyond posture, synchronization can be heard in tone and rhythm. Their speech may begin to reflect your tempo, pauses, or expressions. Laughter becomes shared, and silences feel coordinated rather than awkward. When you shift emotionally, they seem to sense it quickly, adjusting their energy in response. This subtle responsiveness suggests emotional attunement. In psychological terms, we mirror those we feel safe with and those we wish to connect with more deeply. The body often expresses attraction before the conscious mind acknowledges it. While words can conceal uncertainty, the body tends to reveal truth. This harmony creates a sense of comfort that feels effortless. Conversations flow without strain, and shared moments seem naturally balanced. You may find that you both reach for the same idea at the same time, or finish each other's thoughts unexpectedly. These experiences are not mystical. They are the result of careful attention and emotional alignment. When someone is quietly in love, they become highly responsive to your presence. Their awareness sharpens, and their reactions become finely tuned to your expressions and moods. Over time, this repeated alignment builds a sense of unity that feels steady rather than intense. Most people overlook this signal because it appears subtle and ordinary, yet genuine synchronization is rarely accidental when it occurs consistently. It reveals that your presence influences their internal state. Their mind and body are adjusting to you in small but meaningful ways. Love often begins not with dramatic declarations, but with this quiet merging of rhythms. When someone unconsciously moves with you rather than independently of you, it suggests that your existence has begun to shape theirs. In this silent coordination lies a powerful truth. The heart seeks harmony before it speaks commitment, and the body often confirms what the mind has not yet fully realized. Another subtle signal that love is quietly forming appears through gentle protectiveness. This does not reveal itself as control, possessiveness, or dominance. Instead, it emerges as attentive care. When someone begins to care deeply, your well-being starts to matter to them in a personal way. They notice when you seem tired, when your voice carries stress, or when your energy feels lower than usual. Without making a spectacle of it, they ask if you are all right. They may remind you to rest, to eat, or to take care of something important. These gestures may seem small, but they are rooted in emotional investment. Psychologically, protectiveness arises when another person's comfort becomes linked to our own sense of balance. This quiet concern often shows itself in consistent actions rather than dramatic moments. They might check whether you reached home safely, offer help before you ask, or stand slightly closer in unfamiliar environments. Their awareness sharpens in situations where you might feel uncomfortable. Yet they do not impose themselves. Instead, they remain observant, ready to support without overshadowing your independence. True affection respects autonomy while still offering presence. The desire to protect grows not from insecurity but from attachment. When someone's heart begins to attach, it naturally seeks to reduce harm and increase safety for the one it values. There is also emotional protectiveness. They may defend you gently if someone misunderstands you or clarify your intentions when others misinterpret your words. This does not arise from pride, but from empathy. Your reputation and feelings begin to matter to them. They are sensitive to how situations affect you, even when you try to appear unaffected. Over time, you may realize that they are consistently attentive during moments of vulnerability, stepping forward quietly when needed and stepping back when you are strong. This balance reflects emotional maturity combined with growing affection. Many people overlook this signal because it appears like simple kindness. Yet there is a difference between general courtesy and personalized care. Courtesy is offered to everyone. Protectiveness is selective. If someone repeatedly demonstrates concern specifically toward you, it indicates that you occupy a unique position in their emotional landscape. Love does not always arrive with dramatic declarations or grand sacrifices. Sometimes it reveals itself in the steady presence of someone who wants you safe, comfortable, and at peace. In that consistent concern lies a powerful truth. When your well-being becomes instinctively important to someone, their heart has already begun to choose you in quiet and meaningful ways. Another quiet indication that love is taking shape appears in the way someone begins to include you in their sense of the future. This inclusion is rarely dramatic or formally declared. It surfaces in subtle language and casual assumptions. They might speak about an upcoming event and naturally imply that you will be there. They may discuss long-term goals and ask for your thoughts, not as an outsider's opinion, but as someone whose perspective genuinely matters. In these moments, you are no longer standing at the edge of their plans. You are gradually being woven into them. Psychologically, the future is a private territory. We do not easily place people within it unless they have earned emotional significance. This shift often reveals itself through small phrases that seem ordinary on the surface. Instead of saying what they will do, they begin to say what we might experience. The language is not forced. It flows naturally because their imagination has already started to accommodate your presence. Even when discussing simple matters such as travel, career ambitions, or daily routines, they may pause to consider how those choices could align with you. This demonstrates integration. You are no longer separate from their vision. You are becoming part of the internal narrative they carry about their life. There is also a deeper psychological movement at play. When someone envisions you beside them in months or years ahead, it suggests emotional continuity. Temporary feelings rarely project far forward. Infatuation focuses on the immediate present, but growing love seeks stability and shared direction. The mind begins to test possibilities. How would life feel with this person consistently present? If these reflections occur repeatedly, they signal that attachment is strengthening beneath awareness. Even if they have not consciously labeled their feelings, their planning reveals them. Many overlook this signal because it sounds casual and unremarkable. Yet listen closely to patterns rather than isolated words. If your presence is assumed rather than negotiated, if your absence feels like something that would require explanation, then you have likely become significant in their internal world. Love does not always declare itself with promises. Sometimes it quietly positions you in tomorrow's landscape without ceremony. When someone naturally imagines you beside them in what is yet to come, it reflects more than companionship. It reflects a heart that is gradually aligning its path with yours, preparing space for you in a future it values deeply. Silence can reveal what words hesitate to confess. One of the most overlooked signals of quiet love is the comfort that exists in shared stillness. When two people can sit together without the pressure to constantly speak, something meaningful is unfolding beneath the surface. Many interactions rely on noise to avoid discomfort. Yet when someone feels deeply connected to you, silence no longer feels empty. It becomes calm, steady, and safe. They do not rush to fill pauses or reach for distractions. Instead, they remain present. Their gaze softens, their posture relaxes, and their breathing seems unhurried. This ease in stillness reflects emotional security, a sign that your presence alone is enough. Psychologically, silence tests connection. Without conversation, there is no performance, no quick wit, no structured exchange to maintain interest. What remains is simple existence side by side. If a person continues to feel engaged and attentive in those quiet moments, it suggests that their attachment runs deeper than surface interaction. They are not drawn merely to what you say, but to who you are. In silence, authenticity becomes visible. Small gestures emerge, a thoughtful glance, a faint smile, a quiet sigh of contentment. These subtle expressions often communicate more than elaborate declarations. The heart, when it feels safe, does not require constant affirmation. There is also a reflective quality to shared quietness. Someone who is developing love may use silence to observe you more carefully. They notice your expressions when you are not speaking, the way you concentrate, or how your mood shifts gently over time. Their attention does not withdraw in stillness. It deepens. This attentive calm suggests that your presence holds meaning even without entertainment or excitement. Over time, these peaceful pauses create emotional grounding. You begin to sense that you are accepted without needing to impress. Most people misinterpret silence as awkwardness or disinterest, yet when silence feels warm rather than tense, it carries significance. If they remain close, engaged, and emotionally available without demanding constant conversation, it reveals comfort that grows from genuine affection. Love often seeks moments of quiet because quiet allows feeling to settle and strengthen. When someone chooses to stay beside you in stillness, not out of obligation but out of ease, it signals that your presence has become a place of rest for them. In that shared calm lies one of the clearest signs that their heart is quietly, steadily moving toward yours. The final silent signal of growing love reveals itself through consistency of presence. While intense emotions may rise and fall, genuine attachment expresses itself through steadiness. When someone is quietly in love, their energy toward you does not fluctuate with convenience or mood. They remain attentive on ordinary days, not only during exciting moments. Their messages, calls, or efforts do not disappear without explanation. Instead, there is a reliable rhythm to their engagement. Psychologically, consistency reflects integration. When feelings become part of a person's character rather than a temporary impulse, their behavior aligns with that depth. You begin to notice that their interest does not need to be constantly rekindled because it is already established within them. This steadiness often appears in small but repeated actions. They show up when they say they will. They follow through on promises, even minor ones. They maintain respect during disagreements and do not withdraw affection as a form of control. Over time, this reliability creates emotional safety. You no longer question where you stand because their behavior answers that silently. Love that is still immature may rely on dramatic gestures or unpredictable passion. But love that is quietly forming seeks stability. It wants to build something sustainable rather than merely feel something intense. Consistency becomes its language. There is also emotional consistency. Their care does not vanish when you are less cheerful or when circumstances become challenging. Instead of retreating, they remain present. This endurance signals that their connection to you is not dependent on ideal conditions. When affection persists across different moods and situations, it reveals depth. The human psyche does not sustain steady effort without meaningful motivation. If they continue to invest time, attention, and emotional energy over an extended period, it suggests that you have become central to their inner world. Many overlook this signal because it lacks drama. It does not announce itself with grand declarations or overwhelming displays. Yet it may be the strongest indicator of all. Consistency proves intention without demanding recognition. It shows that their feelings are not momentary excitement but something integrated and deliberate. When someone repeatedly chooses you through actions rather than promises, their heart is speaking clearly. In the quiet repetition of presence, in the calm reliability of care, love reveals its most mature form. It does not need to shout because it is certain, and in that certainty, you find the deepest assurance that their affection is real, grounded, and enduring. Another quiet signal that love has already begun is the way your absence affects them. When someone is emotionally invested, your presence becomes part of their internal balance. If you are unavailable for a period of time, they feel the shift. It is not dramatic longing expressed through constant complaint, but a subtle awareness that something is missing. They may reach out simply to reconnect, not because they require entertainment, but because your voice restores a sense of steadiness. Psychologically, attachment reveals itself most clearly in absence. What the heart values, it notices when it is gone. This awareness often appears through small gestures. They might send a thoughtful message when you have been quiet, refer to something that reminded them of you, or express genuine interest in how you have been during your time away. These actions are not attempts to control your space. Rather, they reflect that you remain active in their thoughts even when you are not physically present. The mind naturally returns to what it finds meaningful. If you frequently cross their thoughts in ordinary moments, it suggests that your image has settled into their emotional landscape. There is also a reflective depth that accompanies this signal. When someone quietly misses you, they may not immediately label it as love. Instead, they experience a gentle restlessness or an urge to share experiences with you. Good news feels incomplete until told to you. Challenges feel heavier without your perspective. This desire to include you in both joy and difficulty reveals emotional reliance forming in a healthy way. You have become someone whose understanding adds value to their experiences. That significance is not superficial. It grows from repeated emotional connection. Many people overlook this sign because it lacks dramatic confession. Yet, observe the pattern. If your absence consistently prompts reconnection, if they express relief or warmth when communication resumes, it reflects more than casual interest. Love often reveals itself through contrast. Presence feels natural, but absence clarifies importance. When someone feels your distance in a meaningful way and seeks to restore closeness with calm sincerity, their attachment is no longer accidental. Over time, this sensitivity to your absence deepens the bond. It shows that your role in their life is not temporary or replaceable. You are not merely part of their environment, you are part of their emotional equilibrium. In recognizing how they respond when you are not there, you begin to see the truth quietly unfolding. The heart does not only speak in proximity, sometimes it speaks most clearly in the gentle realization that life feels different without you.